The World Happiness Report is out, and once again, Nordic countries are humming along with the highest scores. The no one country, Finland, has held on to its top ranking for 7 years straight. This year's report is the first to include separate rankings by age group, and it brings bad news about life satisfaction among young people in some parts of the world. Happiness has dropped so sharply among the young in North America that young people there are now less happy than the old. Those low scores helped push the United States out of the top 20 on the overall list for the first time since the report was first published in 2012. But the US and other countries dropping in rank was also because other nations, especially several in Eastern Europe, had welcomed gains in happiness. The happiest countries, Finland is once again the world's happiest country. That's according to the annual report that marks the United Nations International Day of Happiness on March 20. The report draws on global survey data from people in more than 140 countries. Countries are ranked on happiness based on their average life evaluations over the 3 preceding years, in this case 2021 to 2023. The report is a partnership of Gallup, the Oxford Wellbeing Research Center, the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, and an editorial board. The cool weather nation of Finland, where the northern lights dance in winter and the summer sun can shine all night long, has a lot figured out when it comes to the right social conditions for happiness. The survey asks each participant to score their life as a whole, considering what they value, said John Helliwell, Emeritus Professor of Economics at the Vancouver School of Economics, University of British Columbia, and a founding editor of the World Happiness Report. And you find out Finland's pretty rich in all of those things, like wallets being returned if they're dropped in the street, people helping each other day in and day out, very high quality and universally distributed health and education opportunities. So everyone more or less comes out of the starting gate the same, he said. He also noted that Finland has happy immigrants, so it's something that they're prepared to share with newcomers. The report looks at 6 key variables to help explain life evaluations: GDP per capita, social support, healthy life expectancy, freedom, generosity, and perceptions of corruption. Finland's Nordic neighbors also earned reliably high scores, with Denmark a 2, Iceland right 3, and Sweden no 4 in the top 5, and Norway co 7 comfortably ranking in the top 10. Given the war with Hamas, Israel may come as a surprise at no 5, although the country has been in the top 10 since 2022. The report's authors point out that its rankings are based on a 3-year average, which often mutes the effect of cataclysmic events happening during a particular year. And the timing of the survey obviously plays a role when there's a crisis. The survey in Israel was conducted after the Hamas attack on October 7, but before much of the ensuing warfare. So while life evaluations fell sharply, those scores only accounted for a third of the average. The report, which relies heavily on the Gallup World Poll, also includes a ranking for Palestine at no 103, although its statehood is not widely recognized. The poll was conducted in the Palestinian territories of Gaza and the West Bank before the events of October 7. Netherlands 6, Luxembourg no 8, Switzerland 9, and Australia no 10 round out the top 10. The United States drops out of the top 20. The United States no 23, and Germany no 24 dropped out of the top 20, in part because of a rise in happiness among other countries, especially Czechia no 18. Lithuania no 19, and Slovenia 21. The United Kingdom was no 20. While Lithuania ranked 19th this year on the overall list among respondents under 30, it was the no. One happiest country in 2024. For those over 60, Lithuania came in at no, 44. In the United States and Canada, happiness scores from people under 30 were dramatically lower than those from people aged 60 and older. Among people under 30, the U.S. ranked at no, 62, while for those 60 and older, it was no. And Canada was no, 58 among the young and no, 8 for those 60 and older. Australia and New Zealand, to a lesser extent, also saw much lower rankings among the young. LOL said the low scores among the young in those countries aren't a matter of less education or lower income or more ill health. It's what they think about their lives, so it's a mood question, he said. Helliwell attributes the drop in part to the information young people in those 4 primarily English-speaking nations are consuming. They're hearing news that's making them unhappy, and they may be sharing in it, and that may make them unhappy too, he said. And it's the nature of what's happening, Helliwell said. Almost whatever institution you're in, people in North America seem to be fighting over rights, responsibilities, and who should be doing what to improve things, and who is to blame for things not going well in the past, Helliwell said. Discussions seem to be about who to blame and staking out rights and privileges, and not so much about breaking down barriers and working together to actually construct something not by rules and lawsuits, but by simply working together to improve things, he said. Still, it's not all bad news for young people. Overall, globally, young people age 15-24 experienced improved life satisfaction between 2006 and 2019 and stable life satisfaction since then. The report says, but the picture varied by region. Youth well-being fell in North America, Western Europe, Middle East, and North Africa, and South Asia. In the rest of the world, it rose. Another positive takeaway related to young people. The spike in benevolence during the pandemic among all generations was especially pronounced among young people, Helliwell said, and that benevolence has endured. So that's encouraging. Despite the fact that in some countries, they're not very happy, they're still capable of and willing to engage in benevolent acts for others. And that gives you hope for the future. World's 20 happiest countries in 2024. 1. Finland. 2. Denmark. 3. Iceland. 4. Sweden. 5. Israel. 6. Netherlands. 7. Norway. 8. Luxembourg. 9. Switzerland. 10. Australia. 11. New Zealand. 12. Costa Rica. 13. Kuwait. 14. Austria. 15. Canada. 16. Belgium. 17. Ireland. 18. Czechia. 19. Lithuania. United Kingdom. At the bottom of the list. Afghanistan remains the world's lowest ranked country for happiness. Lebanon, Lesotho, Sierra Leone, and Congo also ranked at the bottom.